for the second attempt to get the Styrian Grand. Into turn number 4.
Great job from Martin and Mir.
Marc Marquez, after his problems at the first corner on the first couple of laps, is down in 14th place, trying to
closer. 15th, just behind the two Repsol Hondas, of course, the team he used to race for. Dropping down the hill into turn 9, here come the leaders.
Rear ride height device will come into its own for Suzuki. Perfect time to ride on board with Joan Mir. Now, normally the Ducatis would be blitzing him here. He's losing that low gear, first corner now. This is...
Oh, Martin, sorry, Matt. Martin is challenging for the lead. Brilliant. He goes through and back in the background there's Zarco.
Raging between the top two men in the championship, the two Frenchmen. Blur on blur. Quartararo still keeping Zarco at back.
Down, I don't know if that's a transponder issue. There's Zika Lekawona just ahead of Marc Marquez and Pol Espargaro. So Marquez up ahead now. Gami, and he was going to hit into the back. He was never going to get that stop, Marc Marquez, and he had to sit it up and go straight on. That was on lap 2.
World champion. He's had his dramas. Alex Marquez there in the background coming down through turn 9. His LCR Honda was snaking around and
closing on these guys. He's closing. A 24.5 from Jorge Martin. That is the best lap of the race so far. In the background there, Gami tends to come on strong in the closing stages of races. He did that here last year.
I'd love to know what's happened to Pecco Bagnaia. He's just back on Lekawona at turn 3. On that last lap, Bagnaia did a 1:26 flat. That was 1.5 seconds slower than Jorge.
Like they've gone up in smoke already. Brad Binder as well. A very, very good start for him. He's up into 8th place. He's going forwards. Here is Valentino Rossi. He's got a couple of Italians around him at the moment. Enea Bastianini. Oh, Aleix Espargaro.
Factory of brilliant, man. A couple of contacts from Marc Marquez in the first corner. Now then, Jorge Martin here with Joan Mir for come lap of the Grand Prix. Just 1,000th of a second quicker than the man ahead of him. Aleix Espargaro's awful day. And he was expecting after an excellent qualifying in 7th.
Noah Aprilia left in the race. It is Jorge Martin that lead 10 as it stands. Pol Espargaro's just dropped back to 16th, so number 44 struggling here then. It looks like Aleix Espargaro's just retired out of the race. He just looks like he's in a load of pain.
Well, he's had a couple of hefty contact which have cost him dearly, and I'm sure He's not going to be shy about expressing his opinion about that in his media debriefs. Like, well, he'll feel like this is a bit of payback for last year if he does go on to win this race. He was so well set to win Red Bull Ring 2 here, wasn't he? Attacking Nakagami at the time.
Up the hill towards turn 3, and Murrow moves up ahead of Miller. He goes into 3rd place.
How many times have we seen that in Austria? A Yamaha out of turn 1, but Miller responds immediately, just using that poke of the Ducati over the crest, out of 3 and then down and into turn 4.
We're open there from Miller. Quartararo has to get through because the gap to the front boys now is a second.
And this is where the Yamaha will work better. Break the Ducatis behind him here in this section. Otherwise, he's leaving himself wide open to an attack in the first corner. Or to engage. These two are not really cutting each other up and carving each other up. They're able to just keep their fast rhythm. They're just a gain exchange.
Nakagami has gone through on his teammate Alex Marquez, so Nakagami now up into 6th place.
And Fabio Quartararo's been Nakagami, that's for 6th spot. Now then, has Quartararo broken Miller and Zarco? He's got to now use the corner speed.
They have got nothing at the moment for Martin and Mir in terms of his speed, so Quartararo with, of course, Mir won the World Championship in Moto3 2017. Martin won it in 2018, Champion.
The track limits warning for Maverick Vinales. A long lap penalty would really rub salt into his wounds, having stalled it on the line.
Team win here last year in the Grand Prix of Styria is Paolo Campinotti. Going to get his hands on a winner's trophy. Here we are,
I think, haven't they?
I think so, Matt. I think so. But they've got a lot of work on, because keeping Joan Mir at bay.
Yes, why he's the World Championship leader. Because Miller and Zarco just cannot get on his case at all. The gap is just wrong, particularly through turns 1, 2 and 3.
A little peek further back through the order behind Marquez and Nakagami.
See, Jorge Martin proved in Doha when he started from pole position he's more than capable and comfortable leading him, and he's got the world champion, a double world champion, who loves the Red Bull Ring, right behind him as well.
18. You can see quite clearly that what that device has done for Suzuki.
Yeah,
it's given them quite clearly a few extra 10.
Miller and Zarco behind him, and that ekes his advantage out to nearly half a second. A bit further back there, Nakagami and Marquez are starting 25s on that previous lap.
Marquez not able to get through on Pecco Bagnaia as yet. A track limits warning coming for Pecco Bagnaia further back then in 11th.
Yeah, he had a long lap penalty, didn't he, for track limits in Aston.
The mixed emotions if the checkered flag came out right now for Paolo Ciabatti and Davide Tardozzi and Gigi Dall'Igna with no factory Ducati. Then, can you believe it? Leading when the red flag came out, down to 12th here.
Shocking slump, did not Joan Mir. Jorge Martin's got a bit of a revenge mission for the Red Bull Ring. Of course, he crossed the checkered flag first in Moto2 here last year, and then both looking for a bit of payback.
Yeah, Mir will just be content to kind of keep on applying the pressure and hope that the rookie Martin somewhere.
It's late on when he was just struggling to manage the rear grip, that he really struggled to hold on to lead. But Bastianini, that's going to be a little samurai Dani Pedrosa as well.
Well, at least Dani Pedrosa's got some dry track time in. It's looking like he picks off his candidates one by one. He's up into 13th place now. Good effort.
Should mention as well that while Lorenzo Sabat, the red flags involving Dani Pedrosa as well.
Valentino Rossi, a quick check on the doctor, is 1 place behind Pol Espargaro.
You can just see where the Ducati and the Suzuki's strengths and weaknesses come into play. Martin was 2 tenths quicker in sector 3 alone than Jorge Martin. But Jorge Martin on the podium behind Fabio Quartararo and Joan Zarco at the moment. Joan Mir piling the pressure on the circuit, is there, Steve? 18 corners, and if you see just a stray a fraction offline, just margins where it's going to be something in the line soon.
This is the meanest, the fastest that we've seen Joan Mir all year long. Shinichi Sahara.
Suzuki Vinales, what we were saying about a long lap penalty that's coming the way of Maverick Vinales. Is extra stay continued? When you think about the Red Bull Ring, Vinales, because he's now got a long lap penalty, having missed the start because he stalled it on the line. Weekend with that rear ride device, so you want to see it reap in On a scale of 1 to 10, the pain in that right hand, a full 10, except from the forearm to compensate. And of course, that was fatiguing then quickly. He knew it was going to be a tough race. So,
and no sign of Jorge Martin buckling under any pressure from the world champion.
There's just nothing between them. That layer in the background, Johann Zarco, he hasn't got the pace at the moment to go with Quartararo and Miller. Looks like the number 5 might have Bastianini. So the long lap about to become very busy. Yeah, Oliveira's pitted. That's unleashing agony with that right hand.
Yeah, a real shame for Miguel Oliveira. Let's just hope that somehow to that right hand. I'm sure we'll pick the bones out of that at some point. And now Bastianini then, who's worked so hard to climb up to 12, might not even be able to see. He could be destination top 10 here.
Don't mention track limits to Enea Bastianini. It's been his...
Any news regarding the reason behind the retirement for Miguel?
Guys, I just ran down there to watch them.
That's definitely a good enough reason.
Yeah, no wonder he pulled in.
Different tyre combos here for the guys 3rd, 4th and 5th. Medium couple of riders changed their tyre decisions in between the red flag and the new restart.
Hardest compound front tyre, but he felt like even the hard here this weekend was too soft to suit the KTM. Shout out towards the sharp end of the MotoGP race.
This is where we're at then. We've got Martin and Mir fighting it out for 1st and 2nd.
About Martin and Mir, this is all just about Miller now, focusing on the attack on Fabio Quartararo. Alex Marquez become...
Fabio Quartararo said yesterday, we're so often so close to the green here, it's the easiest track on the calendar, but that Miller is. That'll be a boost for him if he can return from the summer break with a podium.
This will feel like 11, very low.
Down the hill into turn 4.
Now, this is where the Yamaha will be stronger. We've seen it throughout the weekend. It's turn Yamaha, but what they lose here, of course, is what they will gain on the horsepower, the drag race out of turns 1 and 3.
Jorge.
Yeah, and there's pressure that's been relentless from Mir behind him. So he's got to be precise.
Here you can see this is where it came, and he will have known as well. That gave him a right shake-up. Up the hill we go. Martin, no, still in control. 6/10 clear.
That looks like the biggest gap is, but he just lose a bit of drive on the exit, because in that first sector, Martin was just able to find a couple of tenths.
He did not have previously. Means that even though Ducati's top speed advantage is far greater, it takes them so long. Really showed you just how much Yamaha have improved, and Miller's gone down chasing the podium. That may well be.
There's 10 laps to go. Jack Miller, what was going on there? You know, he knows that sector 3 is where the Yamaha...
Into turn 7, just carrying maybe a bit too much corner speed, and that's 2 crashes in the last 2.
So then that pushes Zarco up to 4th place, and that's quite a comfortable gap then now for Fabio Quartararo. 2 seconds back to his fellow friend. Previous lap, he was in the 24s. There was only 2 men on circuit quicker than him, and that was the 2 top men, Martin and Mir. Up.
Simon, your views on the crash here for frustrated Miller, who enters pit lane?
I just wanted to point out in the tops.
For that, Simon, he'll be mighty frustrated with himself. He's furious as Jack Miller, chasing the podium and down. And he's just climbed up to 8th ahead of his brother, Alex Marquez. Meanwhile, out front, 8 laps.
Massive blow for his championship aspirations. He was already 56 points adrift of Fabio Quartararo going in to take this championship charge further into the season. He's livid, he knows. Turn 7, unlucky number 7.
No saving that, unfortunately, for Miller. Bitterly disappointed.
Yeah, and what's that's done, it's given... Well,
he's pulling away. Look, he's almost a second clear now. Martin is carrying the hopes of Ducati on it. What a ride, what a rider he is in general, Jorge Martin. He's always had a touch of class, the 23-year-old, and Paolo Campati.
They've had a lot of success in MotoGP, but never with an independent team rider. It's not done yet. There's still 7.
Joan Mir is as smart as they come, the world champion. Is he saving himself? Is he on the absolute... Here's a replay of these guys trying to stop their meat.
Really hope this race isn't decided in the long lap penalty loop.
Yes, absolutely agree with you on that one. Him already, Francesco Guidotti.
I don't think Francesco Guidotti had that much grey hair at 2 p.m. earlier on this afternoon. He had a few Ducati and Jorge Martin.
And yet again, despite not looking like he had the speed all weekend,
Zarco, so he'll only be losing, what, 3 points at the moment to Fabio Quartararo, so the gap will go up to 30.
7th is certainly not bad from where he was on the grid.
Again, it's the exact... Oh, Mia's made a mistake there at turn 3. Mia is just throwing everything at Jorge Martin. He just cannot get him to crack. And it's Mia that makes the first mistake in the...
Wave the white flag and say, second will do today.
I was just about to say as well, Mia must just be... Will he tire? Because, of course, he's still not really back to 100% fitness, is he, Jorge Martin?
Well,
there's no awesome mistake from Jorge Martin, which has not looked like coming at all.
It's Pramac Ducati versus Suzuki. We're going to look at that moment
at 0.4 of a second, and that's just given a little bit of a cushion to Jorge Martin.
Ducati
another 24.5. It's not just the speed, it's the consistency as well to match. This has been...
Only the true greats in MotoGP win this early on in their MotoGP career here, and you could have forgiven him for coming back and it taking some time to really bed in.
Simon, you've got some observations from pit lane.
Yeah, for Essen, I would be worried for Jorge's, physical condition, but this track is less physical. It hasn't got...
Very much, Simon, that's a very good point indeed. There's just 4 laps then separating Jorge Martin, the rookie, from his first down.
Many times he's been in that 124.4, 124.5 bracket. And again, Mir not a lot slower.
Job here late on as well to salvage a top 6. Binder then, that's a decent result actually, and who is on course to make history, and it looks like it's just too much for Mir now. 1.8 seconds.
He signed Joan
move it was to bring Jorge Martin in, and they have been
in all time. And Jorge Martin 2 corners away from his first MotoGP victory. Just turned 10 left into is a MotoGP winner here in Styria. He finishes ahead of Joan Mir. Pramac Ducati have championship lead, and Binder did get Nakagami and Zarco on the line. What a last lap, flying 4th and lost vital World Championship points. Valentino Rossi comes home in 13th place.
Jorge, he take out some point of Joan, so yes, let's see on the next week, but good taste.
Congratulations.
Bring in some new items, and finally the performance is higher, so happy and proud of them.
But I think we still have some margin for work, and yeah, I will try for the win again.
Incredible, Jorge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Terima kasih telah menonton video ini. Jangan lupa tekan tombol subscribe dan nyalakan lonceng notifikasinya agar dapat info terbaru berita MotoGP. Bye.